is indicative of the library board, but certainly a lot of the town meetings would, if they were held in a public arena, would be above the number that's allowed. First item of business is the approval of the meetings of the June 15th, 2020 meeting. There's one correction to be made that I saw, and I think I made the mistake when I said it. Karen, it should be the next meeting would be July 20th, not July 15th. Are there any other corrections, additions, deletions?
No.
Not hearing any. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes as amended?
So moved.
Holly's approved, made a motion. The second?
Mark, I'll second.
Okay, Mark, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. I haven't received any communications to be read at the public meeting, so I think that counts as public audience. I haven't also received any communications. Lisa, have you gotten any?
No, I haven't.
Is anyone else?
No.
Okay, this will be a fast meeting. The Friends report. Vinod, are you on? Kathleen, is there anything you want to fill in since you're the liaison from the board to the Friends?
Yeah, just that they did find a new president, and they will be meeting. It's to be determined where and probably how they will meet. So I'll have more to report next time.
Okay. I think the fellow that is going to be doing it has been an active volunteer with the Friends.
That's my understanding. Yes, he volunteers with the book sale regularly.
Right.
Yeah, when I saw the name, a face came to mind, and like a large body, sort of like I think he's a fairly tall, big man. If it's the right person, so and if it's him, he's been there for years and years, helping as a volunteer.
And I apologize. The first thing I had down to mention tonight was to welcome Tolly Gibbs as a member of the Board of Trustees. I apologize, Tolly. Tolly, I've known over the years, she was a wonderful president of the Friends of the Simsbury Library, took an active part in the 5-year plan that we did. She worked as project manager on the Maker Fair. You want to say a little more about yourself, Tolly, for everyone else?
I don't know what else to add. I'm excited to be here. I actually had run for the board, so this is rather serendipitous. So I'm happy. I'm passionate for our library being a place for our community to grow. And I'm thinking about the cooling center, like, oh my God, where are the seniors going today?
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Because I did see some places were open.
Right. So thank you. I'm excited.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have anything else to report. I have some questions as Lisa goes through her report, so I'll just hold them till then.
Okay. So our part-time adult services librarians were recalled on July 11th. That is so we could expand curbside service to Saturdays. Part-time library services assistant Sarah Abadamarco resigned her position to accept a full-time position. Her last day was today. Selected candidates have been moved along to HR for offer letters for the following positions: children's page, library services assistant, part-time in the adult. Open children's reference librarian part-time position will be posted shortly. This position, as you might remember, was posted twice previously without a successful recruitment. So we're hoping during the pandemic might be a good time to recruit, because obviously it was for the other positions. Business Resource Center coordinator Andrew Sherman completed the Future School through the Connecticut State Library. This was a series of classes that helps libraries project 5 to 10 years ahead in the future for planning. I skipped the fact that the Teen Services Librarian job description has been revised and the position has been approved for an upgrade to A3 by the Personnel Subcommittee. It still needs to be presented to the Board of Selectmen for approval at their August 10th meeting, and then we should be able to post that position. I began the Certified Connecticut Municipal Official Program through the Council of Connecticut Municipalities on July 1st. It's a 2-year program, and you basically attend trainings and you need 36 credits. As far as the budget's concerned, as you know, the Friends allocated $30,000 for the fiscal year 2021 budget, but they also generously offered to allow us to carry over any savings that we had. So it brings our budget to about $52,000, which is about $10,000 less than the budget from this past year. So we're not in a really bad situation, at least not as far as we thought we would be. So that's very good news. Chris Carney has been the staff member responsible for doing remote notary services. He's notarized 147 documents remotely during this time. Summer reading program, as you know, is all virtual this year. And we have 843 people participating. We also changed the theme to Take Care, Read Books, feeling that it was more appropriate during this time. Since the library closed, we've given out 172 e-library cards. The curbside service, as I said, it expanded to Saturday hours, and that's 10 to 1. And as you probably know, the staff continues to provide programming through Facebook and through Zoom. The carpet throughout the library has been replaced. They're doing some finishing work this week, and then they'll be done. And the staff is working to reshelve collections that have been relocated. So when you come back to the library, you'll see that it looks quite a bit different. And what I plan to do for all of you once everything is put back together is to do a video tour so you can see what it looks like.
Great.
The Flower Bridge interactive wall has been installed in the children's room. It's really quite magnificent. It was a gift from the Friends of the Library, so I'll also video that so you can see it. Issues with the upper level AC have been addressed. It was out twice last week, but hopefully it's fixed now. I just want to add that we filed a purchase extension for our PEG PISA grant today because the purchases were due to be in by July 31st. And reopening of the library, I can let you know, we won't be reopening for walk-in visitors until at least August 24th, but potentially September 8th. And that's per the town manager.
Lisa, I just have a question. If you put a book on hold, how are those being handled now? Or do you, if you
Holds have been turned off by the library consortium. They're actually going to be started in the near future. So then we'll be incorporating the holds into the curbside pickup system.
Oh, okay. So the earliest we would reopen would be the 24th,
That would be the earliest, yes.
probably more likely after Labor Day.
More likely after Labor Day, yes. And what we're doing to expand services starting next week, we'll be answering the phone live from 10 to 2. And the following week, we'll be expanding that to answer the phone live from 10 to 5.
Right.
Lisa, would there be any type of reservation system in place when people come into the library or not?
You mean to come in by appointment?
Right. Or like, just like, are you limiting even in September, the number of people, or are you thinking?
I think that'll depend on the governor.
Well, I can tell you that our reopening plan does not address limiting people coming into the building because the building is so large that it would be very difficult to sort of police that. We are going to have one point of entry and a staff person there to monitor that everyone is wearing a mask and encouraging social distancing and things like that. But people can leave through any exit, so we'll have no idea how many people are in the building. But right now, under the phase 3 that we're under, we could open at half capacity, but we have a 46,000 square foot building, so half capacity is much more than the collection spaces could hold. So.
Do you think you would be running the same type of children's programming?
We have no intention of doing in-person programming in the foreseeable future, even when we open.
Okay, so that would be modified. It wouldn't be any large group events. What about like the ability for clubs to hold meetings or things like, none of that is happening? None
of that is happening, at least according to our reopening plan as it's written right now. It gets revised almost weekly.
I'm sure.
Think of something else that we need to address, but
okay.
For right now, that is the plan. There will be no group meetings. All of the conference rooms will be locked. The program spaces will be locked. The tech lab will be locked. People will be encouraged to come in and browse and then check out and leave unless they're working in the Business Resource Center, and then there'll be one chair per table and they'll be allowed to stay for an hour per day. And computer use also 1 hour per day.
I was gonna ask
Thank you.
about the computers. Mhm.
Lisa, has the delay been pushed, the delay of opening been pushed off because of the numbers around the country, I'm assuming?
I think that is part of the reason, yeah, because we know that people travel and they may come back and not actually quarantine.
Especially for the summer too. Okay.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I just, Lisa, I've been out on Iron Horse quite a bit, and I'm just wondering if you've had any feedback on the story walk. I think it's lovely.
Any feedback we've had has been overwhelmingly positive.
Good, good. I'm glad it's being seen because it's a lovely idea.
It's the perfect kind of activity for this time because it encourages
Yep.
social distancing just by nature of the way it's designed.
Oh, yeah, every time I'm out there, I see people looking at it, so kudos. Great idea.
Stephanie's vision.
Anything else for Lisa? Okay,
I just want
budget.
to add, people can make appointments to use computers even now. We're taking one at a time, one per hour to use the scanner, the computer, or to print out.
Oh, that's good to know.
Let me ask
And that
my,
would be between what hours?
Generally between 9:30 and 5:30, they have to make an appointment ahead of time, obviously, and they're subject to a series of questions to make sure they haven't traveled anywhere that's under the travel advisory, to make sure they don't have any symptoms, etc.
Lisa, have the public PC's been updated to Windows 10 now?
If they haven't been done yet, the 8 that we're planning to use when we reopen, they're first in the priority to get upgraded. We're also putting in timing software to limit people to 1 hour on those.
Good, good.
Anything else? Okay.
Mary
on the
Ann.
bud-
Mary Ann,
I'm sorry, Bernard.
I'm sorry to join late. I've been trying for the last 10 minutes. I couldn't connect.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Being persistent, I got on.
Good.
But you might call for friends report, and I don't have anything to report. But I do want to just mention to all of you, this is my last meeting with all of you.
Oh,
My plans have changed, so it's been fun knowing and joining all of you at every monthly meeting.
Well, thank you for your time.
I'm going to be leaving Connecticut, so
Oh,
Oh,
getting off the board, Friends board as well.
Are you gonna go be with your grandkids, Vinod?
Right, exactly.
where are you moving to?
Nice.
Maryland,
Very nice.
yeah.
Best
been
of luck,
wanting-
Bernard.
You've been wanting to do that for years, so congratulations.
Thank you. Yes, it's finally my wife prevailed, and she's been working on it for the last 5 years.
Yes, she has.
But being 40 years in Simsbury, it took a long time for me to, give in. So, but finally she prevailed, like all of you prevail every time.
We'll miss you.
we
Yeah,
will
best
miss
wishes,
you.
You will
Bernard.
be,
all
you
the
will
best,
be
Bernard.
missed.
We'll
Yeah.
miss being with all of you, and it's been fun. Thank you.
Thank you so
Been
much.
a pleasure.
No, it has been fun. So,
Miss your wisdom.
Lisa, would you like to do anything with the budget? I could see we're at about 96% when we add, 94% when we add all the expenditures that have been, will be counted against last year's.
Right. And I rattled off for you a list of all the things that we were able to spend money on that we saved through position savings at the last meeting. But just to reiterate, we bought new furniture for the WeTalk room. So it has new tables that actually fold like the Terrafil tables, and they're on wheels, much more convenient. We bought additional chairs and tables for the Terrafil room because it's used so heavily. We needed additional furniture. What else did we do? We did the Windows 10 upgrade. We upgraded all of the PCs in the tech services and borrowing department, and they hadn't been upgraded since 2008.
Wow.
And
Did
we
we
bought,
ever get the doors fixed downstairs?
that actually goes into facilities master plan.
Okay,
Part of the reason that some of the work on the building didn't get done is because that facilities master plan is coming down, replacement of the elevator. So they're going to take a comprehensive look at all the buildings across the town and see what maintenance needs to be done. So that's why some of that was held off on.
Oh, okay. Any other questions anyone has on the budget? Okay, do you want to address the Pronto and Library of Things fine status, Lisa?
Sure. When the library board at this
I
point,
can't. What?
ago,
Lisa,
can you hear me?
You're freezing up, Lisa.
Oh, hold on. Can you hear me now?
Yep,
Okay. When the library board approved going fine-free a year and a half ago, we did it so that Pronto books would still accrue fines and the Library of Things equipment would still accrue fines. So what we would like to do at this juncture, now that the Board of Selectmen says that we can go fine-free, is have the library board approve having the Pronto books and the Library of Things materials going totally fine-free, because all of our findings prove that the fines don't encourage people to return them on time.
so how many, with the current regular circulation, those are mostly automatically renewed twice if there's no one that has them on hold. Pronto is only a week, so would it still be like twice? So it would be a 3-week window?
You know, I don't know the answer to that. Sorry, I can find out and let you know.
Okay, yeah, I was just thinking, I wonder how many people, well, obviously Rachel must know how many in fines that we get. And I'm just wondering, those might be encouraged to stay out longer by not having the financial, but we can keep a track on that.
We have been
At
keeping
one point,
track of
wasn't it
fines.
the 9 weeks, and then it would be declared lost, and then the person would have to buy the book. So I'm just wondering how long it would be for a Pronto, or especially the Pronto, I think.
For a Pronto, it would be 3 weeks before it was declared lost.
Okay. Does anyone does anyone have any other questions of Lisa? Do I hear a motion that the Pronto books and the Library of Things would also go fine-free?
So moved.
A second?
I'll second.
Amber, all in
Yes.
favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Okay, Lisa, on to the facility plan.
The facilities master plan, as I said, Tecton Architects that did the master plan for the schools is actually doing a facilities master plan for the town now. We had our first initial orientation meeting with them week before last, I believe. And then they'll be meeting with each department head individually to determine the needs of the building, programming for 5 to 10 years down the road, what we see that the building might need. So that meeting is coming up probably next week. And then they will do a comprehensive, as I said, master plan for the entire town for all of the buildings so that the capital plan can then be spaced out more appropriately, and we won't be doing catch up all the time for maintenance that should have been done on an ongoing basis.
Amber, did you have?
No.
Lisa, how far, if someone comes into the parking lot, is the Wi-Fi strong enough to use for cars coming into that?
It is.
Yeah.
I was just wondering if it wasn't, if that would also be looked at, technology needs.
Did you say something, Mark?
I didn't, but I can say something. If you notice, I'm sitting in my car right now in town hall in Tolland. But I've been in the lower parking lot of the library, and the far side, the side closest to the road going up the hill, has really good bandwidth.
Good to know.
Good.
Yep.
Are there any other issues that people want discussed or put on a future meeting?
Not at this time.
Let's see if I get this correctly. The next meeting will be scheduled for August 17th. Now, the only reason that it might not happen is there are a lot of other meetings that are scheduled on Monday night, and it has to be prioritized as far as which board gets the ability to use SCTV. And since we're a public board, they have to be broadcast to be public. So the next one is scheduled for August 24th.
Wait.
Is there anything else? Anyone
Wait, the
has
17th or the 24th? Now I'm confused.
I'm sorry, the 17th. You're right.
17, okay.
I wrote it down the 17th and I had the 24th from Lisa saying we might open on the 24th. I apologize. The
No,
17th will be the
just
next meeting.
Well, I'm trying to catch up with the dates, so that's
Yep.
fine.
Well, if no one has anything else to add or question, I'll take a motion for adjournment. Anyone want to give me a
I'll move.
motion?
I'll
So
motion.
moved.
Tally? Okay,
I'll second.
It's a fight.
okay. Well,
Yeah,
thank you,
because-
everybody. Stay cool.
Yeah.
And Lisa, thank you for the updates that you send and just keep us in the loop. And thank you, Sherm, for hosting.
And best wishes, Vinod.
Yes,
You're
Vinod.
welcome.
When do you leave?
We'll miss you.
When are
Yeah,
you
Mr.
leaving,
Wisdom.
Vinod?
You're on mute.
You're muted.
We can't hear you.
Vinod, unmute your PC.
We can't hear you.
I'll send you a question. I'll email you a question. You
Okay.
can send it back.
Oh,
Yeah, go ahead.
there he
Go ahead,
is.
Vinod.
No, I'm sorry. It's yes, we are moving, the house is sold and I think the date is towards the last week of August, around August 28th.
Yep.
But I may not be able to make the next meeting, but we are meeting in the Friends Board, so I'll mention to whoever is going to be replacing. Okay.
Okay, great. Well, best of wishes, Vinod.
Marian, thank you so much. I've enjoyed.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you all.
Thank you, everybody.